Walk us through the last 48 hours with your eye injury, and obviously looks like everything's okay today.
Yeah, just going to the eye doctors, figuring things out. Yeah, that's all I can tell y'all right now.
What do you feel like you're not telling us something?
No, I'm not telling y'all something for sure.
But it looked fine tonight.
Yeah. Just got to do a couple more things, but after those things, everything should be fine.
All right, when you look at what D'Lo has done this whole season, tied Nick Van Exel for most threes in a Lakers season. What do you think of his play?
It's phenomenal. I mean, obviously, he can score it well. His shooting ability has been great for us all season. He gets hot in any minute. I told him he could have broke it if he didn't have the bad three he shot. I think to start the fourth, he just threw it up there, and he said, "Yeah, I know." So, but he's able to get going. Fill up the stat sheet with his scoring, and it's a big thing for him, big thing for us as a team. Obviously, there's been a lot going on around D'Lo, and just to be able to do that and us embracing him, and he sees that, feels the love, that's good for him. So he for sure break it on Friday.
Did you consider wearing some sort of goggles, or was that ever on the table in terms of like some protective eyewear? Was that an option?
No. I've been through that phase in high school. I'm out of that phase. I'm not. No. I mean, obviously, if the doctors told me that I needed it, I asked that question, obviously, and I didn't need it. They said if I wanted to, but I didn't need it. So, I wasn't planning on wearing it.
We saw it on film in the immediate aftermath, just kind of how it swelled up on you pretty quickly. How impaired was your?
Yeah, I just couldn't see. The corneal abrasion was actually like right in the middle of my eye, so it wasn't like off to the side. So anytime I look, it was just like blurry. My eye was swollen. I thought my eye was like open, but it wasn't. Just kept watering. Just felt like sand was just in my eye, so it was just better closed, and I couldn't really see. So just been icing it Saturday after the first quarter, and just it got better like later that night. Swelling went down. Just kind of stayed like in darkness, and then went to go see the doctor on Sunday morning, and like some more things that we ended up finding out, but it was really tough for me to see.
What % is your vision at now?
I went to the eye doctor, and my vision's good. I'm still 2015, so I feel good about that. But I can see clearly. I got my eyes dilated today, so before it was still like a little blurry just from the dilation, but I'm good.
Something like this happened to you in the bubble. Yeah. Was it the same type of deal? Yeah.
Yep, same deal. Yeah.
It's been pretty rare for you guys to have a week where you're going to have 3 days without a game before you play the Sixers. What can this group get out of practice time?
Yeah, I mean, when we get guys, let me rephrase that for y'all. We get to try to get healthy and get some rest just from the hectic schedule we've been playing. Practice and work on ourselves, having 3 days. Obviously tomorrow will probably be off, and then get to have Wednesday, work on ourselves Thursday to kind of go over Philly, probably do some more stuff on ourselves, and going to Philly on Friday. But we haven't had much practice time to go on the floor, and we're able to really get after it in terms of going over what we need to get better at, being able to actually, script it, go up, get up and down, and really get after it. So it'll be good for us.
In what ways have you seen Rui take his game to another level this past month?
he's shooting the ball extremely well. He's guarding. We obviously going to him a lot in the post. They usually have smaller guys on him, so he's been doing a good job of that. But what impressed me a lot, he's been able to read the double teams. He don't pass out of them, but he'll go around and he'll go around it and score. So he's just been very efficient for us, especially just with his catch and shooting. He's been able to knock down big shots for us and shoot the ball extremely well. So I told him it comes with getting paid. Like, you got to elevate to the level that we think the team thought you were worth for getting the money, and he's been exceptional for us.
It's been a little bit. It might be a little bit still until Vanderbilt returns. It sounds like Wood could be a while as well. You have played a little bit bigger with Rui starting, and then like Jackson now has played a little bit with you. How do you feel about that alignment, and just given sort of the lack of some of that other big depth, how important is that for you guys as you get down the stretch?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out defensively. I think Jackson, being that Jackson lineup, has been good for us. Going big with Rui starting has been good for us. There's a lot of things we can do defensively. But, obviously it's tough to replace, Vando with the size and then what he's able to do guarding smaller guys at 6'10". So just trying to make up for it with the other guys. Our team defense, try different defensive lineups and try to hold it down until, if he gets back.
What have you seen from Braun these last couple of games in terms of just how locked in he's been on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, Braun's Braun obviously is, it's that time of the year. They're shooting the ball extremely well, been in attack mode, finding guys. He's been locking in defensively. So it's that time of the year, especially for us, where every game is a playoff game. So around this time of the year, he tends to really lock in and get the job done.
Thank you.
So, Max, it seems like you've been just getting progressively more comfortable. Just curious as to what you're kind of seeing out there and how you would evaluate kind of where you are personally this season.
Starting with this game, I was really aggressive, which is what I liked. I think at times I can be a little back and forth with my aggression. I think for me it's just being consistent with it, and no matter what the outcome of my aggression is, as long as I am aggressive, then usually good things will happen. And so I think it's been a steady progressive growth throughout the season. It has been up and down. There's been games I've been aggressive and then other games I haven't. So for me, trying to find that consistent line and continuing to try to contribute to this team.
What do you think the key is to you kind of maintaining that consistency and especially like closing out the season with that?
I think it's just a mindset, to be honest. It's just mentally being in the right headspace and, coping with certain emotions that you have before games and, things of that nature. So it's all within my control, which is, the positive thing. So that's why, I'm looking forward to building on a game like this.
Hey, Max. I know scoring isn't necessarily your role on this team, but when you kind of get off to a good start like you did tonight, do you start thinking about like your career high or anything like that, or are you just out there playing?
I thought about it for sure. I think I had 9 points in the first half, 11 in the first 3 quarters. So I was thinking about it for sure, but I didn't want to force it. I just wanted to let the game come to me, and tonight wasn't that night, but it was a good start for sure. And, I'll have plenty more games where I can get that career high.
Max, you mentioned the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. As a young player, when you have those bad moments and those struggle moments, how do you bounce back from that and remember, what got you here and what you can do even when the results aren't there?
Yeah, I've done a lot of work mentally, on my head and my mental side of the game. It is tough for sure. Being a young player, you want to, succeed as much as you can, and I think, you got to get as much experience as you can as well. So for me, it's sort of just detaching from the situation and, sometimes I make up stories in my head when I don't play well and things of that nature. So detach from that, seeing what the reality is, and then, just putting one foot in front of the other and realizing the spot that I'm in is, a lucky spot for me playing for the Lakers. That's something that not a lot of people can say. So being grateful and then detaching from situations where, everything feels like it's going wrong.
Do you draw any inspiration from kind of what you've seen from D'Angelo Russell and what he's been able to do in this kind of second half of the season, and also just, very near to breaking the single season 3-point record?
Yeah, I think the thing I look for and watch most with D'Lo is not even just, it's not really on the court, and we all know he can really play basketball, but it's the way he approaches the game, and then I think mentally too, just the way, it seems like when he's out there, he really is just really carefree, doesn't really care about outcomes, and really isn't worried about what other people think of him. So I think that's something that I can draw, and I do draw inspiration from, for sure, even off the court, watching, just watching the way he carries himself, and he speaks his mind, and, I think a lot of people just in life in general are sort of afraid to say what they want to say because of what people will say about him. So that's something that he certainly isn't a part of, and so that's something I draw inspiration from.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with you, Austin. I'm sure D'Lo will get his fair share of questions tonight. Just with the way the last two games went, Sacramento and Golden State, where did you guys find that collective energy coming out in this one, not being deflated, kind of playing as a team, all the assists, and where did that come together tonight in this one, and how do you think you could use that moving forward?
I think we just, played the game the right way, obviously shot the ball well, and things were going well, and defensively we were, connected 1 through 5, and thought we just had a really, good overall performance after the, super slow start. But, what coach say we had 39 assists? That's halftime, so I don't know. But, yeah, I just thought it was an overall, good game.
Yeah, D'Angelo, Coach just got through talking about and told you don't have the green light, you have the green room.
Yeah.
How does it feel knowing you have that kind of freedom to do it and to shoot whenever and really wherever you want?
I appreciate him trusting me to that extent. Definitely try to feel like I earned something like that, and it wasn't, given. So to know that that's something I put the work in to do and put the work in to continue to do, seems normal for me, humbly.
D'Angelo, I know you're not the biggest numbers guy, but with your three-pointers tonight, you tie Nick Van Exel's franchise mark for most in the season. It's the longest standing mark of any team, close to 30 years. It's stood. Just considering your history with this franchise coming into the league here, to have a record, that's significant in what today's NBA is about. What does that mean?
That's really cool, honestly, just to know that, to get credit for it. It's just really cool. I said I don't want to understate it, overdo it. I just feel like it's really cool to just be a part of something like that. I think I did something like that in Brooklyn as well. To just to get credit for your game and what you work through and you showcase it every night, and just to get credit for it for something like this. It's really cool.
It's rare to have 3 off days, maybe a couple practices in between games.
Chill.
I was just gonna ask, what do you guys hope to get out of these next few days before your next game?
A round of golf.
Only a round?
No, 3. No. Obviously, I think tomorrow's off, and after that we'll get together and whatever it is, if it's get what you need, treatment, shots, whatever it is, I'm sure we'll get together and continue to try to get better.
It would be negligent not to ask you, Austin, about.
See, this is why I don't like you.
I know. I'm a good reporter. What happened on that first play?
Everybody's seen what happened.
Nobody had your view.
You don't want my view.
Was it not a charge?
My question would be is not only that play, but then they started 11-2. What turned for you guys early after all that happened? And what did you see from an intensity?
I think that might be the first time I've ever been really dunked on. So I made it a really long time without being very athletic, picking my spots to get out of the way. Tried to take a charge. I don't know, super athletic kid, and he got one. The longer I play the game, I'm sure it's gonna happen again. So I ain't too worried about it. It was just kind of the whole sequence of that being the start, and then them kind of having that run, and I'm sitting there like, shit, that's what started it all. But we responded really well, and that just gives us the knowing if a team comes out like that, then we can turn it around pretty quick. But of course you would be the one to ask that question.
D'Angelo, my question's about LeBron. He's always, he's been playing at a high level all season, but he had 40 points the night before, and tonight he was extremely efficient. Have you noticed him, I'm not saying he's at playoff Bron mode or anything like that, but have you noticed him kind of being even more attentive and being even more focused now that we're at the home stretch of the regular season?
His play obviously showing that, knowing that there's 13, 14 games left. I think that's everybody has that in the back of their minds, knowing that we're coming to the end of the season, regular season or whatnot, trying to get in playoff form mentally and physically. But physically he's always there. Mentally I feel like he's always there as well. He still dominates the game at that age, so I still feel like he's there too. So yeah, I guess.
Thanks, everyone.
Darvin, coming off a pair of deflating losses, what did you make of the energy from LeBron and AD and kind of how the group went along with that tonight?
I thought it was great. We got off to a bit of a slow start in the first couple of 3 minutes, but we quickly recalibrated. Spotted them 11-2, and then I think we went on like a 12-2, 14-2 run, and then kind of pretty much then looked back. It's a hell of a young ball club over there. Their record may not reflect it, but they're fighting for a position as well. Love Quinn Snyder. He's like a big brother to me. He's going to make sure they compete, and there's a lot of young weapons over there in spite of being without Trae Young. But I'm happy for our guys. There's a lot of carryover on the defensive end. We talked about limiting offensive rebounds and doing a better job on the defensive glass. For the majority of the game, I thought we did a good job doing that. And then the ball movement, to end up with 39 assists is huge. And we continue that way, playing the right way. Guys going to miss shots, but as long as we give them the opportunity to do so and we make quick decisions, you'll have nights like this. We have six guys that ended up being in double figures. So I thought it was a great night, great beneficial night on both sides of the ball.
Coach, when you talk about guys scoring double figures and winning the way that you did by 31, what are the lessons to be learned from such an easy victory?
Well, again, as I told them, even though you may be dealing with a surplus in terms of a lead, there's things you still can work on. You get up by 20, 25, 30, you tend to exhale. As you're building it, 15, 17, 20, again, you tend to relax. Just how can we stay sharp? How can we continue to build defensive stops, stack defensive stops, and get better at knowing who we're closing out to, being great on the ball. And again, once the shot goes up, something that we've been struggling with throughout the season, how can we defensive rebound better, get everybody involved in that part of the game. And once we get it, not being stagnant, just playing fast, whether it's running habits in the full court, pace in the half court, being physical, setting screens, and making quick decisions.
Darvin, you guys have a few days here before your next game, Friday against the Sixers. It's almost unheard of to have one practice at points in a week at points this season, but you have opportunity to have a couple. How are you going to approach that as a coaching staff?
Well, tomorrow will be off. We had a lot of guys put in a lot of good work over the course of the last few days. So we'll give them off and come back Wednesday, man, with a sharp focus to get better and work on ourselves. That's been the biggest key. We'll get a chance to tighten up some things offensively, tighten up some things defensively. There's a couple of new wrinkles we want to do on both sides of the ball. We'll get a chance to look at, and then watch a little film and see how we can be the best version of ourselves. But just take it one day at a time, starting with the day off, everyone getting off their feet, hopefully spending time with their families, getting away from it for a little bit. But then, once we strike back up on Wednesday, knowing that we have to be better, no matter what's happening around the league or around the positioning with our team. If we don't again, try to be the best version of ourselves and take care of our own business. Nothing else will matter.
Darvin, LeBron was playing bully ball tonight, living at the rim, and kind of picked up where he left off in the Golden State game in that second half. What have you seen from him in terms of just his mentality of getting downhill and just relentlessly attacking guys over these last couple games?
Just trying to keep the defense on their heels. He's shooting the ball at a high clip as well. Again, just trying to keep the defense on their heels. Doing it from a little bit everywhere in a variety of different ways, whether it's attacking early in the transition, pick and roll game as a handler, screener, posting up, catch and shoot, just a little bit of everything. And then, the communication defensively, doing that as well, helping out. We need to be better to help out AD, all of us. So that part of the game as well, getting hits on bodies and just setting the tone, trying to set a tone. It's money time right now. We have no time to waste. And so it starts with our two captains, and, he's doing a great job, both he and AD, of trying to set a tone for the rest of the group.
D'Lo's on the cusp of breaking the single season record for threes. With the roller coaster of the seasons he's had that we've discussed, how rewarding is that as a coach to just see him, I guess, being rewarded in that way?
I think it's been great, man. He works at his craft. It's great to see how well he's playing overall, but his shooting piece, he's hands down the best shooter on our team, and we have a few. And so I wanted him to be aggressive from the three-point line as much as possible. He's shown regular season, playoffs, what those spurts that he can go on from the three-point line, and just want him to stay aggressive. And he does a great job of trying to mix up his points of attack with and without the ball in his hands. He's one of our best cutters, getting in the teams try to zone us or double team the post. He's sneaking in there in the middle of the paint, getting little floaters and bunnies, but his prowess from the three-point line, is really, really elite. And we need every bit of it.
Darvin, along those lines, 183 threes is going to matter on any team, but with this group in particular, with the volume that you guys sometimes aren't able to create, I guess how green of a light does he have, and how important?
He has a green room, not a green light, a green room.
And how important is that to what you guys are trying to do offensively? Just like that he needs to get those shots.
Again, when you have teams, it opens up so much. When he's coming off a pick and roll, we're able to set a good screen at the right angle, and teams know they're going to have to go over, or we're running something for him to come off. He's off ball screen. They know they got to chase over. It opens up everything in the pocket, whether it's a quick dump off to a pocket dunk or pocket pass, a hockey assist pocket pass to someone else on the other side for an open shot. So just that ability to be not only be aggressive but be efficient at a high level from beyond the arc, it opens up a ton.
Hey, Darvin, what do you think has gone into Rui having such a productive month?
I think just him keeping it simple, not overthinking things, man. That's been the biggest thing. Him just keeping it simple, not overthinking. If you open, shoot it. You put it on the floor, get all the way to the rim. He's big, strong, athletic. He can do a variety of things, but just him keeping it simple, not overthinking things. And his teammates, they do a great job of trying to help him through, whether he's got a tough matchup defensively, him getting out, finding them open areas in transition, and then offensively in the half court, just making him a part of whatever action is going on, and again, encouraging him to be extremely aggressive.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Got awesome.